Hello everyone, this is Randy Stroud from SovereignTactics.org, and I just wanted to address the misnomer with the motion to dismiss. I don't like using that word. I like to use demand for dismissal, because if you ask for a motion, you're still asking for permission, and therefore you're submitting yourself to the rules of the court. But if we're asking for a judicial notice demand for dismissal, you're really making a statement upon yourself, and you're placing the proof of claim upon the courts. And a demand for dismissal can look, the format, you can set it up to look just like a motion to dismiss, but instead of saying motion to dismiss, you simply put judicial notice demand for dismissal. So if you get a traffic ticket or anything like that, you could actually print this up and send that through without pleading. And then if you get something in the mail asking you to come to a court, then so be it. But never enter a plea until you can go to court and actually challenge the jurisdiction and get the judge to understand that the nature and the jurisdiction of these charges has to be challenged first to make sure that you fall within the proper jurisdictions before you can proceed. And that right there is another thing, is be weary of word games. If the judge asks you, would you like to proceed, ignore that question. Say, what I would like is for this case to be dismissed. Because whenever a judge asks you, would you like to proceed, what he's really asking is, do you want to proceed under my authority? Do you want to proceed under these rulings of the court? So sometimes, whether you answer yes or no, you're still contracting with the courts. Same thing when they ask you, do you understand? Always say, no sir, I am not a lawyer, I don't understand. So anytime that the judge asks you something and you think that it may have a double meaning, then use two tactics. Either say, I don't understand, I am not a lawyer. Or just simply ignore the fact and then reiterate your demands. So if he says, would you like to proceed, would you like to continue with these proceedings? The whole reason you're there is because you want this case to get thrown out. The only reason that you go to court is because you've been threatened by a gun, because if you don't show up, some men in uniform are going to come to your house and kidnap you and arrest you and so on and so forth. So anytime they ask you for a request, sir, would you like to continue with these proceedings? Don't even acknowledge their request. Stick to your demands. Stick to the facts. Don't get in these arguments about opinions on law and things like that. Stick to the facts. That's all you have to do. And stand as a sovereign. Make demands. But whenever you make a demand, don't go in there, shouting and raising your fist and acting like you own the place. Just be very professional. Go in there with a strong spirit, but try to seem a little bit timid also. You don't want to go in there with a false sense of security, thinking that you own the place, because in reality, they are the ones with the power, and it's your job to try to make them incriminate themselves and use their oath of offices against them. So here's a real quick just sampling. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but I have a demand for dismissal, citation, ticket number, name, a defense. I have all the points I made out. I use, religious defenses and, all kinds of good stuff in here. A lot of good defenses in here. But yeah, it's real simple. Not that bad. So remember, this is the key. Demand for dismissal. So if I get a traffic ticket, I'm going to print one of these out and send that. Whenever it says not guilty or guilty, I just ignore that. I'll send that to them and I'll let them respond. Just like when you get a so-called bill in the mail, it's not really a bill, it's just an attempt to enforce a contract. So in reality, this is actually sort of a form of conditional acceptance. You're placing the proof of burden upon them. Say, okay, you're accusing me of committing a so-called crime, so here's the facts that I'm going to state in my affidavit. Here you go. I demand for this to be dismissed. So whenever you take that approach, you put the ball back in their court. But whenever you start using words like, Judge, I would like to make a motion to dismiss, it's almost like a child asking their adult or their parent for permission. So anytime that you submit yourself like that, you're putting yourself in a lower position, and anytime that you keep the ball in your court, they're going to keep playing you over and over like you're an instrument. And in reality, your birth certificate, all those things, that's what they are. They're security instruments, and they're playing you like a harmonica every day. So remember, let's recap. Demand for dismissal, challenge jurisdiction, challenge the nature of the crimes, and don't enter a plea. This has been Randy Stroud from SovereignTactics.org. I do offer services and sample templates that are on sale for there. They're reasonably priced, and we do accept donations. And I try to help out everybody as much as I can. It's not just all about the money. A lot of people email me. I put a lot of free information out there, and we have to work together. We're in this together. And shoot me an email, randyds5@yahoo.com, or go to my website, www.sovereigntactics.org. And I want to throw a shout out to Trent Goodbody. I recommend his book, Freedom from Government. And that's about it. Have a nice day.